Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets have snapped a 4-day rally post the Fed decision not to taper, and the 10-year bond yields in US is around 2.74, and some of the economic data points which have come out from US have not been that positive, and European markets also were up about 1 to almost about 2% as they had not adjusted to this Fed decision. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, Japan is flat and most of the other markets are shut, like China, Hang Seng, Taiwan and South Korea are shut, and the rest of the markets are flat. Even SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to open up flat. And yesterday turned out to be the stellar performing day for our markets, wherein Nifty and Sensex both were up almost about 3.5%, and the rupee too appreciated about 2.5% post the Fed decision, which came in as a major surprise for most of the market participants. And in terms of flows, FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of 3540 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers in the cash market to the tune of 1830 crore. And in the index futures, we have seen a huge buying of more than 3000 crore in the index future. So with that backdrop, clearly the focus is going to be on the RBI policy meet, which is going to be today. So at 11 o'clock today we are going to have that decision, and though most of the participants are not expecting any change in the policy rates, the liquidity adjustment factor through which the liquidity was curtailed to stabilize the rupee could be relaxed. That is what the subsection of the market is believing. And on that note, let me invite Sadhna to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. A positive statement from US Fed Reserve had cheered the market sentiments, and we have seen a gap up opening in Nifty of more than 150 points in yesterday's trade. And in that period we have seen that 19.19 lakh shares were added in open interest, and cost of carry also increased by marginally, indicating market participants have accumulated long positions in yesterday's trade. And along with that, FIs also were net buyers of approximately 3000 crore in yesterday's trade. And we have seen that put option has added around 30 lakh shares in open interest, whereas call option has added only 12 lakh shares in open interest, due to which put call ratio increased from 1.31 to 1.38, which is clearly visible in the options activity. If we see on the lower side, 6000 and 5900 put option has seen a good activity, and on higher side 6200, 6300 call as well as put option has seen a good activity. So 6200 would be very important level to watch for. Overall, the bias for the market is positive, but we may see intraday whipsaws ahead of RBI's monetary policy, which is lined up today. From intraday perspective, one can go long on Divisla with a stop loss of 1000.80. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, the RBI policy meet is going to be out at about 11 o'clock, and though the policy rate would remain unchanged at about 7.25, a large section of the market believes that the governor would soften his stand on the liquidity adjustment through the marginal standing facility, because that was done actually to stabilize the rupee, and now that we've seen some stability coming back to the rupee, this particular liquidity curtailment could be eased a bit. Also, within days of taking over as the governor of RBI, Raghuram Rajan has also allowed the lenders to open more branches in the big cities without its permission, provided they fulfill certain criteria. So we have some relaxation on opening of the branches front, and Tata Steel has announced the appointment of Mr. Narendran, who is a young CEO, as a replacement for Mr. Nerurkar, who is going to be retiring in the month of October. In another important development, Tata Sons and Singapore Airlines have signed a MOU and filed an application with the FIPB to start a new airline in the Indian markets. And for Ranbaxy Laboratories, the FDA has also decided to carry out the investigation in its US facility called OHM Laboratories, wherein the surveillance is going on as per the US FDA. For JP Cement, some negative news, as the Gujarat High Court has issued a notice to them on the back of a PIL filed by the local villagers where JP Cement plant is located, that with the allegation that they have encroached upon the village land and they are dumping waste. So some bit of negative on the JP associate stock today. And for some of the stocks like Vijaya Bank and Dena Bank, they have been excluded from the F&O list with effect from November 29, 2013. So one can expect some quick negative reaction on these two stocks in today's market. For HPCL, some positive news as the cabinet may give note to its 37,229 crore refinery in Bardmer in Rajasthan, and Prism Cement has sold its entire stake in the London Stock Exchange listed Norcross PLC for a total sum of 264 crore, where the profit would be about 120 crore. So expect some positive reaction in the Prism Cement stock in today's market. Coming to the stock specific ideas, FIPB has approved raising of the foreign equity holding in Axis Bank to 62% from 49%. So one can go long on Axis Bank with a stop loss of 1117 and a target of 1174 to about 1196. Eveready has increased the prices of the batteries by about 10% from October. So one can go long on Eveready with a stop loss of 19.5 and a target of about 21.5. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great weekend and see you on Monday morning.